Hi, Mike DePung here at Spirit Hill, and welcome once again. Um, I know it's been a while since I've been on camera here, but that's okay because, like you, I go through my own healing times and things that I learn, things that I wish to learn, desire to learn, and I work on those. And today I thought was a very excellent day to come to you because it's the fall equinox, as some call it Mabon. It's a time of the year where the harvest is celebrated, where the day and night is equal, and we're entering into, in the northern hemisphere, this time when the darkness will grow. And it's a time where we live off of what, to a large part, we live off of what we have harvested, what we have taken in, and we bring it out. It's now time to bring it out. And this is time for me to bring out some of the things that I have been learning, feeling, creating, because it's part of my healing. And I wanted to speak to you about a few very specific things today. One, in your healing journey, there are a number of people, many people who will see things and recognize them as being like, hey, this is some kind of sign or omen. This is something that could help me understand myself, help me to know what to do. A lot of folks are big on that, wanting somebody else to tell them what to do. Not so big on that. That's not part of healing. A religion telling you what to do, government telling you what to do, a church telling you what to do. Yeah, no, not so big on that. But when you see these signs and omens, you've got to seek out, just like I do. You must seek out, we must seek out what these mean. For instance, I could tell you, I have people ask me this, what does that mean? We saw a hawk. What does that mean? We saw an owl, or heard an owl, or saw crows. What does that mean? Well, I can tell you the energy that those things carry, but what that means to you is something that only you can know. And that's where we all have to look into our own hearts and say, I want to know me. I want to know the true essence. I want to know this spirit incarnate self. And I want to determine why I'm here. I want to create my purpose, not one that somebody else gives, not finding one, but saying, hey, many paths, I could choose many things, but this is what I choose for now. And you find those kinds of things out by evaluating in the light of what you see, evaluating events, evaluating things that happen. One thing that I really wanted to talk to you about today was the concept of dreams. Dreams can have many things. You can look up books of dreams, and if you dream about something, it tells you. If you dream about water, it'll tell you what that means, or lots of things, flying, or all kinds of things. But what it means to you for your healing, what it means to me for my healing, can be very different. They carry energies, different things, creatures, animals, crystals, stones, plants. They all carry energies. But why do those things come into our lives at specific times? Though that's when we start to find out the way we can affect our own healing. And this is what I wanted to share with you. With dreams, I'm not too concerned about some things. What I am concerned about is the message that I get, especially upon awaking from a dream. I know this. I don't remember it most of the time. I would rarely remember a dream, even an hour later. If I don't put down a few key words or phrases, sentences that make me remember. And then I ask my heart, my own intuition, what does this mean? And I start writing then and recalling the details. And then when I get done, I can ask for the help of those unseens who have cared for me, well, I'll mention that in a minute. But they help me to understand They don't tell me what to do, but to understand what the message was there, what the energy was in that dream. For me, dreams are powerful tools because they are for powerful tools for healing because they are of us. And look into those things that you dream about, and then ask the spirits, ask the unseen energies, whether they're spirits or angels or ascended masters or candomblé, the little people. And I mention this because all of these entities have appeared to me in dreams. Quite often in my dreams, I will see someone and I'll think, oh, I know who that is. And then in the dream, they kind of morph into somebody who I don't know what it is. And I found in the unseen have told me in my journeys that they appear as someone familiar to begin with, so that I can accept what is coming and what the dream is about. So please try it. Ask for dreams. Many times I ask to have a dream, and I ask the unseens to help me remember. This is in my ceremony that I do virtually every night. I ask the unseens, help me. I need some answers. I need to understand some things. And I inevitably will get a dream. I think I've mentioned before, I don't have it with me right now, but I've dreamed in the past about about a stone, a crystal that I wasn't sure what it was at first. And it turned out to be, in the dream, I just heard it come to me. It's fluorite. And I dreamed about it 2 different times. And I thought, okay, they're trying to tell me I need to get fluorite. And then I find out it has all this significance for me. Most recently, I dreamed, and 2 messages came out. One, I had a dream, and I'm not going to go through it because dreams are lengthy sometimes to explain. But I had a dream about, basically focused on a couple who I know, who it seems like the past relationship and the degree of relationship is not as strong as it once was. And I was feeling, I guess, kind of strongly about that and wondering what's going on. And unseens appeared to me in the dream. They at first appeared as friends, and we were all in this wagon together, on a wagon ride. And what I realized was one of my spirits appeared to me, and she said, look, and there was somebody behind her, and it was somebody new who I didn't know. And this same somebody has appeared in 3 different dreams now. And it's beautiful. It was a new energy, a new unseen spirit who wanted to come to me. And quite often they'll tell me their names. And this one didn't at first until the last dream. And it was like, oh, it's Merlin. I get it now. And there are things going on in my life where the Merlin energy has been a big part of what I've been going through. I've required that energy. And so it's a very beautiful thing. And I don't want to go any more into that right now. What I do want to go into is something that came of meeting with others and thinking through some things, and then going through dreams and knowing how strongly I feel about some things. And this is the time to bring it out. This is the time where this is part of my harvest from myself at this time of the year, where we recognize the harvest that has been stored up and that is ready to be used now. It's about the concept of time. Chronos and kairos are 2 Greek words for time. Chronos is a word that you're more familiar with, undoubtedly, about a chronology, a timeline. This is the way things happen in a sequence, in an order. The timeline of history, well, a poem that I wrote is going to talk about that, because this is what came from this little dream and meeting that I had with some other folks. And then kairos is a word that's not quite as familiar, and it means timeliness, that the time for something is now, that there's this situation, this thing, whatever it might be, it's like now is the time for this, now is the time to act. And they relate to one another. Maybe the poem that I wrote that I'm going to read to you will answer that. Maybe not, I don't know. But what I know is this: at this time of the year, when I think about harvest, when I think about consequences, when I think about things that have grown and some things are useful and some things aren't, I can look back not only on this past year, but on the past of humanity and think about how our chronology, in terms of the gross history, the overall history, the overarching history, is marked by ego energy, by and large, a white patriarchy, one of power and control, and money is power and wealth is power, and not that anything associated with gain is evil. I'm not saying that, but what I'm always saying is that the life energies that have been harvested because of this energy being put into the planting and this energy being put into the development of not only humanity, but of individuals involved, it's ego. There are these consequences, they're lower life energies that are always going to keep creating problems, in some ways keep creating opportunities to heal. But I wrote this: Chronos, Kairos, and us. This moment, a fleeting eternity, a ballroom fling, one song, perhaps the last dance, arousing. Well, you know what? I want to stop. I forgot to say something. If you're offended by strong language, you may not want to listen to this, but it comes from me. So if you don't know me very well, you might think, oh, I'm surprised to hear him say something like that. Don't be, because this comes from me again, and looking at the overall timeline and the timeliness of the now. So here again, let me start over again. This moment, a fleeting eternity, a ballroom fling, one song, perhaps the last dance, arousing the couples, heavy-breathed, now anticipating, wondering who and where they will fuck, or imagining, pushing for that opportunity. The news cycle of crazed politicians spouting hatred, Kronos, of gun-loving gangsters looking for someone to blame, threaten, and shoot, Kronos, of fashion-hawking opportunists squealing that the sale ends now, Kronos, of power-guzzling oligarchs choking all competition, Kronos, the cycle of history. Who gets fucked and when? Kronos manipulated by an unchecked patriarchy, engorged with ego-energized power, control, and wealth. All else in Kronos? Fucked. You and me, now. Slaves, serfs, indigenous peoples then and now. The chronology, the timeline marked by manipulators, holds the records. This moment, a fleeting act of eternity, a tender swipe of one tear, an honest word that enlightens or encourages, the twirling dance of a soul now anticipating and wondering at the healing intimacies offered by this unity, this all, this void and fullness, this we engaging in divinity. The 1 second cycle of loving this in spirit carnate self. Listen to the clouds. Kairos. Of sharing sandwiches with that spirit incarnate other. Feel and taste their joy. Kairos. Of feeding the neighbor's birds. Sense their fellowship. Kairos. of embracing the widow of a spiritual brother, allow the tears, kairos, cycles of 1 second. Now, redeeming the expressions of kairos, I create a new chronos, my own love line. So that's it. We have the opportunity to take healing pains that we have had, to look at shouldn't have said healing pains, to look at the healing opportunities we have had from the pains that we have suffered, from traumas that we have endured, and to look at what's going on around us. We cannot separate self and the healing of self from the healing that we can sense is needed all about us. But it's not for us to heal what is all about us. It's up for us to heal self. And that works out into the collective. So we need to be concerned with that. But that doesn't mean that we don't identify those things that create trauma, and that we don't do something, that we don't say something. I was listening to one of my friends earlier today in a video she made, talking about righteous indignation. Thank you, Chrissy. And associated with that was she was speaking about the child, that inner child, that divine child. And I thought, and I haven't listened to the rest of the tape actually yet even, but I thought, little children who are pure and innocent, they have righteous indignation. When they see something about to be hurt or trampled or an animal hurt, they will scream no. They will not, they don't want to see that. That is a pure righteous indignation. And when I see the things going on that hurt and damage and cause trauma to masses of others, then I have this righteous indignation. But I also know that I have the means to heal. This is part of what I offer. This is part of healing for me, to write, to share these things. And I hope that there's just something here that you can grab a hold of and think, okay, at this time, what can I bring out from myself? What have I been nurturing that needs to be harvested and brought out and shared? Or maybe there are things that were nurtured that were never taken care of, and they are things that we need to be healed from. Bring it out into the open now and deal with it for yourselves, for your own joy. This isn't like something that's always a heavy, horrible thing. Healing and dealing with trauma is serious, and many people need help and professional help and should get that. But it's also the whole end of it is not to be dead serious all the time, but it's joy. It's to know why we came here, and we came here to enjoy all of this, to just luxuriate in our divinity and our divine creation. So, having said all of this, happy Mabon. Love and peace to you all till next time.